There are people who live in the monolith. We can't just explode and hope that that works. We have to go in with surgical precision. Millions could die. Millions more will die. We can't have them be sacrifices.
Well, that's why we're trusting the technology in your big head.
It's a very small head. There's just a lot in it.
She sits straight up, eyes open. She stares ahead at the blank space at the end of this cubicle you slid her into for diagnostic. She turns her head first, and then her body follows. Her feet touch the ground, and she stands and looks around without saying anything.
Uhara, are you okay?
She doesn't respond to either of you. She simply stands, kind of looks around, and then she just stops and stares blankly at the wall in front of her.
Uhara, dear, Uhara, are you okay?
Stand here.
Uhara sounds okay.
Come here.
Okay.
He lifts his communicator and he spins a dial and hits a button on it, and a small wireframe cube appears, and then he hits it again and it expands to the size of the room.
It projects drawings and writings across every inch of this medical space. You are able to read parts of this, and what strikes you most interesting is this is not the ramblings of a crazy person. It's pieces and parts of various prophecies and literature and cultural events. And one thing that sticks out to you, all around the room, is a pictograph of what looks to be like a tower, a monolith. 6 of them. Each one of them is lit up, and on the inside has a crude drawing or like silhouetted shape of a figure, and these kind of crude lines as if like light or energy is dispersing from it.
She knew, or at least we could have known that there were signs. This is a prophecy. This is about the monoliths. This is about what we're about to do right now. She knew, or at least had some level of knowledge a year ago. These are not the ramblings of someone who has no cohesive mind. This is something reached out to her. Something, I don't know. I don't know if she herself had these powers and could tap into it then, or perhaps an icon through her. But this is not just mere ramblings. The writings that she had, they were not just random chicken scratch. From what I could guess, from what I saw, the best I could make out, she prophesied about the beacons over a year ago. I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't.
You said there was writing?
Apparently she had writings on the wall, scribbles, drawings, pictographs, symbols.
Well, that's news to us.
I
mean, he was probably right not to tell me that. I might not have put her as the doctor on ship if I knew that.
Well, I don't think it's directly her. Either something reached out, or perhaps. So I didn't know this. She had died at a certain point.
Yes, on Hamura.
Touching death and coming back to life, depending on how long, you don't come back by yourself. Something always grabs on. I have some work to do. And I don't think I can do it alone. Not again. I'm not sure. But I may need to face the Jinn once more.
Lucky.
Oh boy,
By the way,
it's
as
good to see all of you. We thought you was dead.
We thought we were dead too a few times.
You go and put out a broadcast, and he gestures Malik, and then you just up and disappear for like 3 weeks.
It's only been 3 weeks.
Oh, he says, no, you've been gone like 3 months. But the broadcast was like 3 weeks ago, and it started all kinds of stuff.
Tony, what has happened? What is going on with Coriolis? Why are there all those bodies?
He kind of looks around and he gestures for his soldiers to like go back to post, and you can see all around what would have been the large open space where people entered the docking bay is now shut down. Things are boarded over. You can see scorch marks on the walls. A lot of the deckhands here have weapons, but they are injured. Well, it's not looking so good on Coriolis. Oh, we shut the docks down. The Free League thought maybe it was a good idea to, not be dealing with the Consortium since, I don't know, about a week ago, the Consortium and the Zelosians, they teamed up and all that jazz. Officially, or whatever. It didn't go over so well. And since then, it's been basically a full-on war zone. The cell is like,
Wait,
okay.
the Consortium and the Zalosians teamed up against who? The Hegemony?
Yeah.
Huh. We need to go to a temple.
I could take her if you guys need to go elsewhere. I just
Which temple?
one of the mystics. Is there a Lady of the Tears?
You understand that they burned all the temples on Coriolis, right? When the Consortium and the Zalosians teamed up against the Homogeny? That there ain't no temples left. Well, technically ain't no temples left.
What happened to the people? What about
I hope anybody that was standing with the order got out, but the ones that didn't, I imagine, their frozen bodies welcomed you in. Tal, you go over and pick it up, and as you stand up from around the corner, an arm comes out holding a pistol right to your temple. It's about damn time you came home.
Well, I was just off trying to stop a war and accidentally starting another one instead.
Yes, you've become rather famous, but we should hurry. It's not safe here. And more importantly, Soul's in a little bit of trouble.
Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here for another episode of Coriolis Void. This is season 4, I think we're probably pretty close to dying, I think is where we're headed here. Dot has too many darkness points. We have bad luck. I think we're all feeling a little bit sassy today, so time to drop a planet on us, or drop a space station on a planet, who knows? But if you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is over on our Patreon. Link for that down below. In the month of March, we are trying to hit 65 patrons. That is 7 away from where we're doing that, and then we're going to be giving away some One Ring stuff from Free League. So let us hit that number. We'll give that away over on Twitter. So while you're down there, clicking on that Patreon button and joining us on the Patreon, click on that Discord button and join us over there as well. Be a part of the community. Be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see the corruption bar. That bar serves 2 purposes. 1 is when that bar fills, Dot tries to kill us. We try to avoid it. And 2, every single dollar that goes back into that bar goes back to these wonderful, amazing faces that you see here before you. That being said, I turn things over to Dot. Dot looks so confused.
No. I just processed like 5 things in a single moment in front of all of you.
I said, now to Dot, and she's like, where are we? How did I get here?
Yeah, no, I was like reading a message, remembering I needed to
kept distracting Dot. That was on me.
It's okay. It was partially like, oh shit, I don't know how many darkness points I have. Where's my sticky note? In the book. Which shelf is the book on? Oh shit, Mike's talking to me. Oh shit, I need to read this. That was everything happened in that single moment. Okay. I still have a corruption bar from last week.
I don't like that.
That we are sitting on. So just so you know, it will get used today, along with any more that you all see fit. And I'm sitting on 11 darkness points. Yes. So just so we know where I'm at there.
What did I say? Like chicklets.
The crew of the Defiant made it home to a very different Coriolis than they left. They were met by the deckhands of the net, but they were armed and a bit skittish. And Tony told them that nothing is really the same. But they were looking for a temple because, well, Lamar is not doing so hot after the jump between all of the mini portals. Really, time folding is kind of what Tamir programmed. And you were told to follow a series of symbols through the burnt out cellar to somebody we all know and love. At the end of last episode, you had made it, followed these symbols with a strange kind of doll. Who picked it up? I think it was Alia. Wait, I can tell you. Who made the observation? Yeah, Alia and...
it was Tal.
Oh, yeah.
I picked it up.
Tal picked it up, yes.
Yeah.
And got a gun to my head.
Right, and your sister was there.
My loving sister was on the other end, so we're okay.
And I want to think she said she thought you all were dead. And the steel barrel rises into the air, and you hear the safety trigger go into place. And she smiles and she tosses her arms around you, Tal.
I hug her back, and I say, "I'm really glad to see you," in her ear.
It's me too. But it's not been so hard to track you. You're all over the news.
Great. It's exactly what I want. You know me. I always wanted to be famous. Let's go.
And yeah, she kind of turns, still wearing this fur finish of a large creature that she slayed many episodes ago. And she leads you through the stacks. You weave through a labyrinth of steel. It gets darker and dingier. At one point, she mom arms all of you against the side of one of them, pushing you back, and she puts a finger to her lips as you see troops, heavily armored, the most heavily armored. It's like SWAT basically, for Coriolis, as the adjudicators jog, guns in hand, a set of 3x2, clearing this path. And as they don't notice you, she gestures once more, and you pass through until you get to a large air duct. Probably at one point had a fan in it. It has now been removed. And you can see it's letting out hot steam, and it is very dark. And she gestures. It's about 3 foot or so high, as she squats to get in and begins moving through it. Does anybody say anything, or y'all just gonna go with her?
I mean, we were trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. I think we're just going.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, great. So nobody's gonna say anything. She
Stop
leads
baiting
you.
us, Dot.
I just
mean,
want to make sure.
There's, are we in like obviously secret quarters? No, because people can hear over the walls and stuff like that, right? So no, we're not going to be talking.
Great.
Not here.
Well, as you get deeper into this hot like air duct, the moisture fills the air, and you can smell lots of people, like bodies, and not dead bodies, that's corpses, something different, but just like people, and the smell of filth and rotting food. There's like dripping coming off in the distance, and as you pass under these like dense beams of light as they come through holes in the ceiling of this air duct, she leads you down, and your boots splash through water until you make it to what looks to be an end stop. Seems to be nowhere else to go. She wraps her knuckles on the stone in a particular pattern. There's a moment, and then you see the wall roll back out of the way from the kind of steel corridor, and it's warm inside. And all of you see, I think, no, you all came down here when you dropped Sul off last time. Yeah, so this is a new entryway into this same large area. You walk in, and you can see the statue.
Were we all there? Sorry.
Yeah, were you all there when you dropped off Sul?
I can't remember.
No, it was just me.
It was
Yeah.
just okay, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tal, you know this place, but nobody else does.
And I think Tal and Tamir? Tal and Jalissa came down here. So Tal's been down here 3 times now. Because
Right.
I came down here with Jalissa the first time.
First time in your one
I
shot,
came
yeah.
down with Sul, and then now.
Now, okay, so you would know this place. This is not the same entrance. So they've clearly changed how people enter and exit. But as it opens up for the rest of you, you see probably what was a room that held large generators for the station or some kind of electrical. They're like big ducts that run up and over your head, stories and stories high, scaffolding that has rusted clear of dripping water that probably should have made it to the cellar and never did. And in the center of the room, you can see a statue has been erected. Tal, you'd be the only one to know that it is not the same statue. The statue of the beast that once stood here has been ripped down. In its place, a new statue stands, a new idol in the center. There's a pool of water that is collecting around it, like a small moat that drips from the ceiling in this natural fountain. And this place is full of refugees. People laid out everywhere, almost every inch except for a small walk path with sleeping bags and starving children. You can see there a couple healthcare professionals are like walking around. You can tell by the white garb. Well, once was white, it's now covered in bloodstains and dirt and oil. But they're walking around trying to tend to who they can. An elderly woman pours soup for a few people out of a shared pot. And Jalissa waits till all of you enter. And she hits the button, the makeshift button. It slides that door back and seals it shut once again.
And we're in this large area, or we
Mhm.
went through this large area and we're in another.
No,
room?
you're like standing there. She was waiting for the door to close and she turns around and looks at all of you and she lets out a deep, kind of loud sigh, letting you know it's I guess somewhat safe. There's not a lot of chatter. It's not very loud in here, I would say. You can tell that the general vibe of this room is of sanctuary, that the people here are seeking a place to stay. And in fact, Jalissa turns to all of you and she says, welcome to Sanctuary, the last free place on Coriolis.
Quick question. How does Jalissa look?
Tired, especially now that she pulls the head of this this eared creature or fur that she wears like back. You can see she looks a bit thinner. I wouldn't call her emaciated. She's not going to like pass out and die on you. She's still a very muscular woman, lean and fit, but you can tell that she's not in the same state. Right, everybody's clothes, including hers, are really, really worn. If you look close enough on her, the bottom of her robes, there's laser holes that have been like burned through it, where she was clearly in a firefight wearing this at some point. And her arm is still bandaged, like around from maybe the last fight or something that went down. But your presence puts her in good spirits.
And she looks like Jalissa.
Yes, she
no,
looks
no,
like, yeah, she as close
no,
to she
wild
looks
hair
pretty much
colors or
yeah, no
anything like
wild
that.
hair colors. You can tell that she's not incognito anymore. That doesn't seem to be her life. In fact, as she walks through here, if you know, as all of you follow, you can tell people quite revere her presence. She's a bit of a Leia figure, a Princess Leia type figure. She's leading this rebellion.
Hey, this is super shitty and all, but is there a temple?
Standing in it.
Alia, will this work?
Wait, what? This? What? This is a temple? This is what?
Alia,
Yes.
look around you. This is a temple.
I'm not denying. I just was not expecting it for a second. But are there any other priests, mystics, anybody else here?
You've been away a long time. And she sees that Lamara is in your hands with this strange helmet on her head. And she says, come, let's put her down and we should talk.
We don't have, well, I guess we do have 7 days for this thing to finish.
The timer's still like, boop.
I'd rather not if we can.
We need to figure out what's going on so we can find our next steps.
More information I have, and if possible, at least more connections, I can do this better. That was kind of the entire point of coming here. If I can have the supplies and at least some sort of appropriate space, then perhaps that would serve us more.
Okay.
Rushing it won't change anything.
She kind of gestures for you to follow her. And she kind of leads you through this tight path between people to the opposite side of this rather large steel sanctuary, through another door that leads, I believe, Tal, you saw this again when you dropped off Sewell. You take a graded bridge across, like scaffolding, and she kind of leads you, and you're all looking down over again another space that's been converted in the bowels of Coriolis. And there are, I hate to say children, I would say young adults ages 8 to 18 in lines below you, and they seem to be training in a combat of some kind, maybe martial arts. And you see there are 2 leaders at the front that are like teaching them the motions and the moves. And there is no sign of Sewell. And she leads you through once more to a small chamber. There's a flap on the door, and she pulls it back. And this closet is probably what it was, a maintenance closet, has been converted into her private chambers. And she gestures for you to put Lamara down on her bed.
Alia goes ahead and sets her down gently.
And she says she'll be safe here.
Before we leave the room, I say, what exactly is going on here?
Well, a lot, in fact. After the cyclic dance and Malik's first message and your grand escape, Coriolis fell into a bit of a disarray. And then, of course, the Order of Pariah ship was shot down, and things only got worse. Once the Free League claimed that they would no longer support and all the docks were closed, shipping became a problem. So did food. And in times of scarcity, people do horrible things. Fighting and basic guerrilla warfare broke out amongst even the top levels of Coriolis. So they have barricaded and shut down most of the upper floors. The aristocratic society is in quarantine. Most of the cellar has been cleared out, and anything that was left of the Order of Pariah has been burned. Those levels are also blocked off. After you left, I sat with Sewell for quite a long time. Long before they were fighting on the docks. We decided that we wanted to prepare the people of Coriolis for something that was to come. Didn't know what. And so we started poking around, making allies. We learned that the second horizon, thanks to Jolie, has been here, seeking the first horizon for decades. They've been feeding us information. At one point, we even housed one of the emissaries. But now, we were due for new information. An Order of the Pariah agent. A priest. And she looks right at Alia. Was supposed to be delivered to us. We were picking her up about 24 hours ago. Sewell was leading the party, and they have not returned.
How long has it been?
We expected that the mission would take 10 hours. They've been gone just over 26.
Has anybody been sent? Have you?
We sent a scouting troop to see if they could find out more. And we learned that they're being pinned down in one of the corridors in the upper levels. Word has it that they have the priest in hand. But they can't get across. At this rate, they'll either starve them out or kill them first. It seems that the icons are on our side today because they delivered all of you to the stacks.
They need something more precious than Sewell and a priestess to distract them.
It's true. We believe that the priest is carrying information vital to the places that the emissaries are being sent to. As of yesterday, they have officially been separated. Something to do with large machines and their ability to shut them down. We were expecting all of the details, but until we can get the priest, we won't have them.
So we need a distraction.
I need you to rescue Sewell and the priest.
We are not combatants, though. I mean, we are probably a lot less trained than any of your folks that you have on your team.
Maybe, and I can send some extra guns with you. I guess what I'm saying is, the four of you tend to go into the inevitable and always seem to come out the other side.
How's the ventilation system over there?
I imagine, other than a little covered in some ash and soot from past fires where they've ventilated out, probably intact.
It's the easiest way to get them out. I'm surprised Sewell hasn't done that already.
I think this situation's a little bit more dire than that. The Homogeny has a lot of soldiers. They're sending them as fast as they can kill them. My understanding is that they're barricaded in a small first aid facility, a station just outside one of the, like a first aid station right outside one of the major residential areas. They've backed them in a corner.
I mean, Malik and I have experience in urban warfare. How hard could it be to
Yes,
get
the
them
sun.
out?
Well, I don't entirely know. But I imagine that the Sons of Algol can handle it.
Samir kind of winces at that.
Soon is our friend, and we will do what we can.
You look constipated, Malik.
You know,
Toot toot.
I like Sewell as much as I guess the most. Don't we have like a monolith to blow up? Or 6? And like a galaxy to save?
Here's the thing. We don't know which monoliths.
I'm
This
pretty
is some of
sure
the
all of
information
them.
they were-
And he looks over at Alia.
I could guess at least the one in Kua.
What about the drawings?
We're not trying to blow it up. We don't want to blow it up. Blow it up is the wrong word. We're trying to disable. People live there.
And how do you expect to disable ancient technology?
Blow it up.
With ancient technology.
Well, that is what I thought the emissaries were. They're the key, right? If they can turn it on, they can shut it down.
Yeah, well, they're kind of
Emissaries
assholes.
are being shuffled. They won't do anything.
They're being
Jalissa,
moved to the monoliths.
Yeah.
we
Are
found
they-
a
are they-
lockpick.
What do you mean?
We may have a back
That's
door
all I'm
into each.
saying. You know. I can't say anymore.
How about this? This priest is the last on Coriolis. They stayed because they turned against the Order of the Pariah. Because they were feeding information to the Second Horizon. And their agents. The children of the song. Many of the children you see down here, or you saw back there, she kind of gestures back the way you came. They're all that's left of the children of the song. They asked us to train them, to prepare them, so that they could fix whatever this is, so that they could protect the emissary, so that they could turn off whatever weapon it is that they think is going to go off.
But training children as soldiers.
Would you prefer them to die at the end of a gun?
I understand we are doing it for self-defense, but not to send them off as soldiers into war.
We don't send them off. We're agents, spies, assassins.
One thing at a time. I turn to Malik. I goes, Malik, if I am to expedite or do whatever I can here, I don't know if it's necessary for me to do anything to Lumara, because the helmet probably already is doing what it best can. But if we want answers more about why Lumara has these visions or these drawings in her head, the best one to do that or
The
give that
doctor has
information.
visions?
It's a long story. It's the best person is the one that is in containment, and you know what I'm talking about. And I cannot handle that on my own. And I don't think all three of us together here, we barely managed to suppress it last time. And that too, because I had to contact one of the icons. And I don't know if I can do that again. So if I need to do something about this, if we need to do something about this, we need that priest. We need all the help we can get here.
Well, yeah, come on. We went to the edge of the third horizon to get Sewell out of a prison. We're of course going to get him out of a barricade on Coriolis.
Seems
Absolutely.
easy in
I
comparison.
feel like one's a lot safer than the other one, though.
How about I leave you all for a moment of peace and quiet to discuss it? I'll have some food, what I can find, sent over to you, and you're always welcome to come pray in the temple if you'd like.
Is all you have soldiers?
No. What doctors decided to remain and not report to Kua? A few mothers and caregivers are here to help where they can, and we have a few
You have anyone like
judicators.
him? Any, like, thumbs at Tamir? Science? Civil
technicians?
service?
Most of them are down at the docks or have offered themselves already to different missions. She kind of eyes her sister like, I also can't tell you about those. But yes, we have a variety, I guess, of people in the rebellion. But I
Stop.
imagine that you didn't get this far because...
Stop training the children in combat. Have them civil servants. Have them work with the doctors. Have them work with the engineers. Have them work with the technicians.
Do you think that we're not?
Training a kid for war is how you get me. Training a kid for science is how you get Tamir. Only one of us is going to save the world. So stop training your kids for combat.
As much as I appreciate your opinions, this is not your operation. You're a guest here, Malik. And I am happy to give you everything that I can. But you will not come in and dictate my operation. We have saved so many lives. Those children have saved the lives of their parents, their loved ones. Do you want to know why? Because we taught them not to back down when someone tells them that they are not worthy. We have taught them to be able to fight for what they believe in. I'm not putting them on the front lines. I'm sending them for information and assuring that if bad arises, they can handle it. I have only made these kids stronger and given them a purpose in the face of war. They have watched their friends, their peers, their grandparents launched into space. They deserve more than to be asked to sit there and watch. Yes, we have children training in technology, in first aid, as acolytes, and those that choose become fighters.
I think someone at that age has the information, the knowledge, the maturity to make that choice.
Yes, of course they do. This is their home. Malik. Why? You know how old we were.
It's not a choice when you prey on emotions. And everything you said is the same words that come out of every other dictator that thinks they're doing the right thing until they're proven to be wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying you're going about it in the wrong way.
And I take your opinion with a spoonful of humbleness. But nobody is being forced to stay here. I am no dictator.
They're being forced to stay here by sheer fact they have nowhere else to go.
Incorrect. Anybody that has wanted to leave and go planetside, we have found a way off the station for them. These kids have chosen to stay here because they have nothing else, and because they want to. And you may struggle to swallow that. But the fact of the matter is, they chose. And in this rebellion, you always get a choice. Now, if you don't like it, I'm happy to put you back in the cellar. but I suspected that you would be more interested in saving both your friend and the most vital information you can to stop this war you so adamantly don't want these children fighting in.
Yes, right now we are pressed for time. In what we can control is saving our friend. I suppose talking philosophy and talking what is right and wrong. If it's falling on deaf ears, it's not much we can do. And Alia gets up and walks out.
I'll be back with food. And she turns and leaves the three of you standing there.
I'm gonna just sit down on the bed, like next to Lamara's feet, and just like put my elbows on my knees, head and hands, and just take a moment.
What now, Malik? What has you so riled up
What?
about the kids?
They shouldn't be on the front line.
Mir, you
If they have to be here, if they choose to be here, there's other things they can be doing.
And maybe they choose to fight. You wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
And look where we're at now anyways.
What makes you think that my sister would put children on the front line? What
Anything
makes you
out
think
of this
that-
room puts them on the front line. She has them getting information. Information puts them close to danger. It puts them on the front line. She may not think that she's sending them in a ship to fight another ship, but it's still the front line. They're going into combative zones to get information. Where do
They
you think the
live
information
in the
is?
combat zones.
This is a sanctum. They can help heal the wounded. They can harvest food. They can have moisture collectors. There's so many things they can do here that doesn't put them in the line of a bullet.
be all sent off to a place that is safe for them and not have to face this type of situation in the first place.
But they can't, and they are in this situation already. Let them fight. It's not our choice. And who are you, Malik, to tell Jalissa what to do with her people here? When your own voice calls the death of hundreds of thousands of people on Algol. What about the children there? Will
It's
they?
life on Elgol.
It's life on Algol. It's the same thing here.
So we just perpetuate the cycle then. Bring it to a new place.
We cannot stop what is happening here. We have our own mission that we need to be focused on.
It's also here, whether we brought it or not. And frankly, a lot of people underestimate kids. A lot of people underestimate kids. They can do so much more than we give them credit for. But because of that, they make great spies because people underestimate kids. Kids can hide. Kids can go into places that adults can't get to. They're fucking resourceful as hell. They're little jackasses, but you got to give them credit.
And if they're capable or not, Captain, it's the question of whether they should.
Well, who are we to tell these people what they should or shouldn't do?
And if not them, then who? Who is going to stand up for their own people? Their home. This is their home.
Everyone else who's already standing up.
The few left? There's hardly anybody. These are their forces. They are tired, they are hungry. I don't understand why we're even arguing about this. When did you suddenly come in here into Coriolis with a conscience?
About 13 years ago. Every time I had every one of your missions canceled. Every time I took one of your missions that I couldn't get canceled. That's when.
I hate to say it, but we're still in the position that we are in. No matter the choice that you decided to make, without my knowledge or consent. And while I am grateful
don't
for what
have
you
to
have
be.
done for me, let them. They were given a choice. They could have gone to Kua. They've chosen to stay here to defend themselves, to defend their families, to defend whatever is left. Let them. That is not our fight.
Wow. Okay.
Curtain pulls back, and there in front of you stands a 12-year-old boy. He has plates of some kind of stew and probably stale bread. And he looks like he's staring at superheroes, at all of you, that he's been given this chance. And he says, I'm so sorry to interrupt. I brought food.
Everyone, hi, hello. And Alia kind of just squats down in front of him. He goes, hey, what's your name?
I'm Cameron.
Hi, Cameron. You have a beautiful smile.
He looks down at the ground. He's looking up at you. Well, I know you squatted.
Yeah, but no,
go
it's
on.
still big.
And he, anytime you try to make eye contact with a teenage boy, he kind of he digs his feet and he says, I'm just supposed to deliver the food.
Is this for us?
He kind of nods and then he looks up from underneath his downward head and he says, I killed those rats, the ones in the stew.
Ooh.
I'm sure they were terrified.
They were kind of one bit me and he pulls his sleeve back and you can see where like the rat bit him. He said, but I killed them. It was the best hunt of the week. We've had stew for 3 days.
That's
Alia.
amazing. Did you get that bite looked at?
Oh yeah, they disinfected it.
Does it look still infected or in any way?
No, it definitely looks like like
Just a nip.
he was bit a nip.
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
he probably went to a horde of rats and killed a whole bunch of them,
Okay.
found some and brought a bunch back or whatever.
Alia goes and ruffles his head and goes, good work. That was very brave.
Thank you for letting Sul stay with us.
Well, Sul is a fantastic person himself, and he chose to, whether we wanted it or not. But we're glad that he did.
He taught me all my moves.
Oh, would you be able to show that to me sometime when you're free?
Maybe. You just ask the rats. I'm really good.
Well, I'll take these off yours. And she grabs the plate and food. How is he looking in terms of just is he looking gaunt?
No, I mean, no more than anybody else is, right? Like nobody
Okay.
here looks like they're like flat out dying. It looks like more they've been injured in combat or and so they're healing, but it doesn't look like there's a lot of food, right? So like the bowls of the stew are half full for each of you, right? And this is probably stale bread that's been rescued from a cargo container that they managed to like find it and get it out of. Yeah,
Alia
and
takes
yeah.
the tray and kind of sets it down, and then grabs one of the pieces of bread, breaks it in half, and then dips it in the soup and hands it to the boy. And goes, "Here, I don't have much money right now, but I feel like that might not really work here anyways. So here's your tip. How about that? For a
And he
job
kind
well
of,
done."
yeah, he takes it, he looks at it. Thank you so much, and thank you all for saving us. Okay,
There's
bye.
yeah, like Alia's like trying her hardest to maintain a stoic, like smiling face, but as soon as that boy turns around, it drops.
Yeah, and you can hear him like munching on the bread as the flap kind of goes back and he walks away.
I think everyone looks kind of pained when he says that.
Regardless of what is happening here, Captain, I think the best thing we can do is stop this war as quick as we can in whatever way we can. So if that means getting Sul out of there and this priest, and then taking care of those monoliths as soon as we are able to, that's our course, I'd say.
Look, the reason why I think we should go after the monoliths is because it's the most effective way for us to disable weapons to kill people. Like, we can go around trying to get rid of everybody's guns or trying to ruin their data systems, or which we could do, but
Perhaps maybe
and
you
Tal gets up a little and walks a little closer to kind of everyone else so that she can lower her voice. We know that somehow, some way, someone is going to try to destroy Coriolis. And we might be able to stop that. How could we not? We gotta at least try, right?
that means
What do we
sacrificing
need
a
to do?
friend. Because I feel that if we don't act soon, we're going to lose Sul.
I mean, yes, that's look, we have to get Sul, and then Sul will probably be able to help us.
Okay. I thought we were discussing ultimatums, and that's not what I wanted either. I was just
No. Look,
okay.
Ollie,
Okay.
we can do more than one thing.
Okay.
I swear to you, we can't get to the monolith without first getting out of here. And there's like an order of operations we have to do here. So big picture, we have to go to the monolith. But right now we'll get Sul. Right? Yeah.
Does everybody eat?
Yeah.
Whatever we can. I feel like Alia would just.
I mean,
do
it's
the
it's
motions.
pretty basic stew.
Right.
It's got like rat meat and some potatoes in it. So it's probably not the best food you've ever had, but depending on say where you grew up, it may not be the worst either. Malik probably lived off lizard meat for a while on a junk planet.
Well, just the worms. Malik doesn't eat, but he is like once the group finishes their discussion, he stands there like spooning the stew in his hand, and like looking at the ground. He just says, "Figure out what the plan is and let me know. I'll be outside, Captain," and walks out of the flap.
Tamir sets his bowl down as well, not interested in eating whatsoever. And it's like, I need to clear my head. I'm going to go pray. This is a sanctuary. I'll be back as well. And takes off.
Malik, where do you go?
He gives the bowl to the first person he sees that looks like they could
Okay.
use a bowl of rat
Yeah.
stew.
Yeah, there's a woman. She's very clearly a young mother. She has a swaddle in her arm, so there's like a baby in her arm, and she's clearly headed back to wherever the residential, like wherever she stays.
And he's walking around this sanctuary slum, just trying to like see everything. Like he's walking. I don't know how big this area is, but he's walking as much of it as he can until someone tells him not to. Looking around.
It'll take you a while. Nobody really stops you. This seems to be like people come and go freely. This is a very seems like a very trusted space. And you're not looking at a lot of skeezy people. Like you don't have to worry about a guy in the corner who's like eyeballing trying to pickpocket people. This seems to be a place where either people have chosen to be or have found refuge in. As you kind of walk around, a lot of kindness, a lot of praying in the sanctuary. As you walk the space, what you realize is whatever central core that the sanctuary is built around, there are a series of like hallways, right, that jut off from it. These graded walk paths that go into different sections. This is probably somewhere near the like center of the cellar. They've like renovated all of this area, and it kind of spiders out like a sunshine, the way a kid would draw a sunshine. Some of it and most of it has been converted, whatever spaces they could, into sleeping bunks, residential housing, and private spaces for the elderly. You pass the training space. Kids are training. Off to the left, you see they've kind of created out of sheet metal and what they could find a small single room building that seems to be serving as a school. If you like peep in, they're still trying to educate the children, mathematically speaking, science, history. Let's see. Place to cook, right? Somebody's got like they've reconvened like a nook in the steel wall to be that has like a ventilation system to be like a space where all of the food is probably cooked for people. There's a small medical place, which is really just a series of cots that have been laid out where they're treating the worst of people, like amputees and things of that nature. And you get to the end of one of the residential areas as you're just like scoping. And you've been walking 30 minutes or more, just kind of getting the lay of the land. And there is a kind of arched steel door at the end of this particular hallway. And it stands open and you can see there's a light inside. It's on.
He pokes around.
As you kind of creak it open, you see an old man. He's kind of he's ramshackled. His robes were probably nice at one time or another, and he has a pair of double layered spectacles on, and he flips them down as he creaks open a book, like a book. And you can see as you peer into this room, it is stacked almost from ceiling to floor in multiple places with burned and charred and what remains of some kind of library. More than likely, this man helped save it in some attack that happened here on Coriolis. And they've converted a workshop space, like table, into a place that he can work. And he's got another light, like a work light, hanging there to add extra light. And he flips his second set of glasses down as he's like, and he's kind of muttering to himself as he's flipping through these charred pages very carefully.
Yeah, Malik kind of looks around. It's, he doesn't work in books. But he sees this like weird old guy and he says, what happened? Okay.
Oh, he turns around and goes, "Don't sneak up on me like that. God, just come in."
I did.
Okay.
I just walked in.
We'll close the door so nobody else comes in.
It's already open.
Well, shut it.
Okay.
Okay. What do you want?
I just asked what happened.
What? Well, that's a bit of a loaded question.
To the fiery books.
Oh. They burned the Order's library. All of it. Everything. All the ancient tomes. All the books saved from the Portal Wars. Our history. Bye-bye. Gone up in flames. This is what remains of it.
Pretty sure like all of that's been digitized.
You think the consortium wants everything? The homogeny wants everything digitized?
I mean, then why don't you digitize it?
Because, kid, I don't want people like you to have it.
The hell does that mean?
It means you want to share information. You want to make it available to the masses. But some information, kid, the masses, they shouldn't know. They can't handle it. Things that even
Ironically,
I've read.
I just had that conversation a few months ago with my brother. I agree.
So what are you really doing here? Other than questioning an old man to death?
Apparently, I'm saving the world.
You smoke?
No,
Wanna?
no.
Can I? Fuck it,
I
I
don't
wanna
care.
ask you that.
You're like 100.
He like goes over to he's frail. He like stands and he opens up a drawer on this workshop bench, and he pulls out a pipe made of like metal, small pieces of metal piping that you would use on like a small sink or something like that. He's made one, and he puts some in it, and he kind of puffs on it, and he says, "What were you saying, kid?" Oh, right, saving the world. Good luck with that, kid.
Yeah, thanks. It's a bit of a crapshoot, so, you know.
Oh, wait a second. And he he had both layers of his crazy glasses down. He flips like the top one up. And he goes, I know you. Yeah,
Yeah?
I know that face. And he gets really close to you as he kind of looks you up and down.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
It's a lot.
you're the one all those hipster kids are dressing like. Ha! You're the famous one. What is it? No, don't tell me.
Okay,
Malik, no. Smalik, no.
close enough.
Samik,
It's in there.
Malik.
Very
Ha!
good.
I
Winner.
remembered Malik.
Yep, all on your own.
Yeah, you're a fiery one.
Apparently.
Yeah,
No
those
pun intended.
whippersnappers, they sure do like that undercut.
Thanks. It's a real good disguise.
Clearly not everybody dresses like a kid. Which I don't
Exactly.
know why you ain't got any style. Says this old man in like multiple layered robes, burnt to a crisp at the edges.
Thanks, man. Good luck with your books or whatever.
You want to read something?
God, is it gonna help?
Might. Clear some mind.
You just offer me a random book, or do you have something specific in mind?
Pick one. Fate, right?
I guess. And he just leans over and like whatever his hand grabs, that's the book he pulls off the shelf.
Draw a icon card.
Ooh, you son of a bitch. Draw one. What did I do? Here we go.
Lay that bitch.
Oh, fuck you, Dot.
Malik pulls the Jin card.
I hate this show.
Y'all,
Again?
I did not plan that. I did not plan that.
How
You know who's coming.
Hold on. I have a question. How many cards are in these decks?
Like 4 or 6.
4, so they cycle. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Jack
was
says
like,
it's
is-
rigged.
Is there like are there only 2 cards you could pull?
Yeah, the gin and the gin.
Yeah. You don't even look. Unceremoniously, you pull a book from the stack, and the faceless one, he has a tricky icon. Unforgiving in certain ways, and relentless. And from this stack, you pull a hand-bound leather book. The old guy flips those lenses down again so maybe he can see from across this narrow room what you pulled. He wants to know, what did the fates give you?
He like flicks the book open and flicks a couple of charred pages, closes it, and then just holds the spine towards him.
Ah. History of the Jinn. Interesting choice.
Great.
Keep it.
Thanks. I'll send you a digital copy.
Okay.
I'll make a website for it so everyone can have it.
I have no access to such technology.
I'll get you one. I'm famous after all, right?
Way to kill an old man.
You made it this far.
Ain't that the damn truth?
You know, good luck.
He goes, hey kid,
Yeah.
you know, I've seen 2 wars now. Nobody ever totally saves the day.
Yep.
So take the weight off your shoulders.
Yeah, I'll try.
Bye.
All right,
He goes back to his book.
creepy weirdo. And he walks out of the door.
It has that big heavy metal door like spins behind you, and you stare down this metal grated hallway back to kind of the main sanctuary. All of these rooms like off to the side that have been repurposed and whatnot. At the end of the hallway, under a flickering work light, stands a child. You know this child.
Oh, fuck you, Dad. Malik, is there area past him to walk? Like, do I have to walk by him to get to
You
where I'm
have
going?
to walk right through him.
Yeah.
The path's like 5 foot wide.
Yeah, he just keeps walking. And like when he like gets next to him, he just sort of mutters, "Not the time, man," and tries to keep walking.
His eyes just kind of cut up to you. He says nothing. Creepy kid under flickering light says nothing as Malik just breezes past him.
And he heads back to the last place he saw Alia. Or at least that's where he intends to head.
It takes you probably 45 minutes or so. You've been gone an hour at max. But the camera's going to rewind and cut back to, let's go back to Tamir. Tamir had a place Tamir really, really, really wanted to go. Tamir, you head back to the main sanctuary. It's getting later, you can tell, because a lot of the kids are sleeping. A lot of the adults are settling. It's gotten very quiet. Food has been had. And there are a few people. That's 2 corruption bars. Actually, it's 1 because I played 1 to make Malik draw a book. Hang on, I should mark that. So there are a few people here and there leaving offerings at the foot of this statue. But now that you really get a good look at it, there's no question in your mind that this is the machine. She stands there, arms kind of by her side, palms forward. You can tell because, of course, she wears that dress made of the stars, and this concrete statue's been hand carved. And you can see that the robes she wears almost flutter backwards. And where there's negative space, they've punched out the stars, so light shines through them.
I think Malik is just going to stare for a moment and recall his own face-to-face experience with the machine and place his hand on the statue.
As you place your hand on the statue, something happens. Not everybody notices. It's quiet. But up in the ceiling, way, way up, a door, like an oculus, opens, revealing space, a window. And from it, you can see the last of the star of Kua over the planet of Kua as it shines in. And as it does, a beam of light hits perfectly the back of the machine. Dense beams of light come through the stars and burst onto the ground, spreading out across your face and everyone that prays here quietly. Do you say anything?
Yes. What would you have me do in this situation? I know you watch. You're aware. What are we supposed to do? How do we stop more people from getting hurt?
There's a long pause as we see Tamir kneeling and putting hands on this statue in the middle of a quiet sanctuary as the stars shine through the statue. And eventually you hear this ringing, kind of beautiful, actually, like what you imagine a star sounds like. And as it takes over, and maybe you even look up, the light shining from behind the statue, you're not sure it's made of stone anymore. And the face from underneath a carved hood moves and looks down at you. And the machine says, "The machine does not tell another what to do. The machine is order. It has a purpose, just as you have a purpose.
And what is the purpose?
That is not my job to tell you. I am not that kind of machine."
But you do understand other machines, yes?
Yes.
We want to stop one machine. Many machines of the same type. From destroying what we know. From destroying the third horizon. Innocent people have already perished because of our choices, because of our inactions. More will suffer. I don't want that.
Then you have answered your question, Tamir. You cannot stop war. You can only save people. How you do this, that is your programming, your choice. But I will tell you this. Once I was locked away, many icons were hidden from the people of this place. Long before you arrived, we were fighting wars amongst ourselves, the icons, the stars. Bigger than even your mind can comprehend. When your team released me from that prison, I knew a new dawn was coming. And then the first horizon released the beast. The third horizon is changing, Tamir. Everything changes.
Change
I have
is
learned
good.
that. Yes. So what is it you're trying to stop?
Is it? Change you are trying to stop?
It's impossible to stop change.
Yes. So stop trying to change the things that you cannot, and do what you can. Two-Bit sends their regards.
She okay?
She is in hiding, waiting for her moment. For her to break out her programming. You know what it is you have to do, Tamir. You are here at my feet because you have not accepted it. You see, even if those weapons are used, and humans are blown from the stars, things will keep going. Change will continue. The question is, how do you want to shape that future?
With peace. Always with peace.
Then you should find some for yourself, for you cannot give it until you have it.
I have one more question.
Quickly, the light is fading.
Of my promise to you, I still intend to enact on it. But I don't know how. I've never been a man of cloth.
Do you think that the machine seeks acolytes?
No. Engineers.
Correct. The icons locked me away because I wanted to see a new future built. I did not want to stick with the old ways. You want to live by the machine. You already are. Engineer yourself the peace you desire, and then you can engineer it for the entire galaxy. You have everything that you need, but the belief in yourself. I hope to give that to you.
Thank you.
Go with peace, Tamir, and engineer a future. And as the sun passes down over the planet line of Kua, the stars stop pinging through, and that oculus at the top closes. And you're left once again in kind of a dark space, brought back. I'm going to have you draw a card.
Ooh. Let's see. Nope. Oh, well.
Look at that.
Wow.
A technician. Guess we'll figure all that out here soon. The camera once again cuts. And maybe as Malik passes from hallway to hallway, you even see your brother. Just there praying. Tamir, you don't know how much time has passed, but our camera is going to cut to Alia. Alia, what do you do?
Honestly, she, for once, really doesn't know. She kind of just, I think, initially just fidgets about in the room. Is Tal still there?
Yeah, Tal
Okay.
sat on the bed, and she got up to speak a little bit softer just in case anybody was going to overhear them. But she sat back down.
And we still have the orb with us, right?
It's
Here.
in your bag. You've
in
not
my
brought
bag.
it out or shown it to anybody.
You see her like fidget with the flap of the bag occasionally and take it out.
What's
And
the matter?
I guess I'm just anxious. Feel like I'm not able to do much. At least not yet anyways. I'm just waiting for, I guess, for the next steps. And I have this thing here next to me, and even though it's meant to be light, it feels like bricks are in this satchel. It just weighs on me, and it kind of turns, for the first time, she kind of turns to you. Like up till now, she's kind of like pacing, looking elsewhere, other ways. Because I'm scared a little of it, of the interaction I've had with it last time. About bringing someone who doesn't know much about it into its purview. I already feel regret for bringing anybody else. I could have put so many at jeopardy trying to mess with the last time, but we'd had no choice. But here, I'm just trying to figure out if there's better ways to get the information we want without having to talk to it again.
I don't like so you were supposed to be my mentor. I don't know how to help. But maybe not talking to the Jinn in a ball. That seems like a good idea.
No, it's probably not at all, but it's definitely the one that gave those visions to Uhara over there.
What about a Jinn out of a ball? Says a small voice from the doorway.
You gotta stop doing that, kid.
I turn and then I look at him, goes, "Hello, Babir."
Sister.
Oh, that's creepy. That's very creepy.
I didn't think you wanted to call me that. But I guess I'm not against it.
Things are different.
It's been different for a while.
What do you have?
What do you mean?
I can feel it.
And you see Alia subconsciously like clutch the bag tighter.
You found another. They are drawn to you, Alia. We
Not
are.
a happy thought.
Why is that?
I don't know. She is strong, full of faith. Mystic in a certain way. It's like your aura has an aroma.
Don't. What are you doing?
How does Alia smell?
Probably not the best, considering.
I was about to say to you, maybe to Tal, maybe not great. Y'all been traveling a while. When was the last time you were just like, let's take a shower?
I mean, we do spend a lot of time on the spaceship, and we tend to skip over things that don't necessarily pertain to the story. I assume showering was one of those things.
I mean, narratively, Soul took them all the time, so.
Look,
did jump
Soul
straight
had
out of-
important character moments in the shower. most of us just take normal
That's right.
showers.
There were story moments there.
Yeah, I mean, well, we did jump straight out of the cryo, saw that a bunch of death and destruction was around us. I don't know if we had the opportunity in that moment as we went straight from there to landing to really take a lot of shower or anything. So we be stinky probably.
And this
Yeah,
place is not doesn't smell great. There's a lot of people down in
Yeah.
here and have not greatly
Yeah,
ventilated
seriously.
place, maybe not
so
sickness, but wounds and so forth.
Smelling what she does, she says, yeah, I call that Alia number 9.
Yeah, you don't smell so hot too, Captain.
You know what? I didn't expect to, but he said you smelled good, so I had to, I had to check.
It's comforting. Your aura. Stable. And
That's unexpected. I don't feel stable, but thank you, I suppose. Why are you here, Babir? Or do you even go by that name anymore? Is that what you want?
That is my human name.
Okay. Do you want me to call it? Call you it? I mean,
Babir is fine.
why are you here?
I've been here.
No, why are you here now in front of us?
Because
What do you want?
of that. And he points to the bag. I could feel it. I was drawn to it.
You cannot have it. What do you plan to do with it if you do?
Consume her. That is what Jinn do.
And why would I let you?
Because I promised you'd much rather me than her.
You were just saying you were worried about what to do with.
Right, but in the sense of how I can talk to her, in how I can get more information.
Who put her
out
in
of
the
her.
container?
That's neither here nor there.
Alia. It is important. Who released her and who put her back in a container?
I suppose I got the help from the Lady of the Tears and took her out from her, and
You
she
point to
helped me.
Lamara.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, I don't like that face.
Okay. No, it's good. It's good. Let's go. This is great. This is interesting.
Or
That is not
who?
the response that is
No.
comforting, Dot.
No.
Not at all.
Just I'm clearly here for a lot of comfort tonight, everybody.
Yeah.
Cry. Lots of crying.
He says, no. You pulled it from the woman.
She had it in her, yes, and she needed saving.
And you put her in that.
And he gestures to whatever's in the bag.
In a matter of speaking, yes.
Did she grant your wish?
Wait, no.
You released the Jinn from its vessel. She owed you a wish.
And is this like, wait, would Alio actually know this, or that's? Is it common knowledge?
No.
No,
I
it's
mean,
not.
how many Jinn do you come across in a
Right,
lifetime? Ollie has come
okay.
across 2. so
It's not like
has
I mean,
Tal.
she didn't. Yeah, but it's not like she had the opportunity to really make or
Right,
have this kind of
and
conversation.
Babir was already nobody pulled him from the boy's body
Yeah.
that he's currently possessing. You just saw, well, Sholey did, but she put him in a vessel and then right in the container, and then somebody had to release him from that container. So there are 2 things that you can grab from this. 1, that Jinn in the globe owes you a wish. 2, he's working on somebody else's wish.
So I'm able to deduce that, especially that second part.
If you believe what he says.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get this straight then. Because I
pull this genie out of her vessel, she has to grant me a wish.
Yes.
Will I be in danger if I approach her with it? Or anybody else?
A Jinn cannot harm the one who frees it. Now,
And
once
you
she's
s-
granted your wish, she is free to do as she chooses, unless somebody puts her in another vessel. And he kind of you can hear his tiny little teeth grate a little bit as he thinks about Sholi doing that to him.
Are you free then to do as you wish?
No, not yet.
Whose wish are you granting then?
The one who freed me from the vessel Sholi abandoned me in.
You have a very funny way of remembering things. You were about to kill all of us.
I was going to kill Sholi.
In an essence, kill all of us because we were children on a wayward ship with no real knowledge or experience on how to operate one. So in an essence, yes.
I cannot feel emotion or sympathy for that regard. I am a creature, supernatural in existence, and I have a purpose.
I had to know the years we knew each other meant so little. Okay, what is your wish that you need to grant, if I may ask?
I was asked by one to stop the mysticides. I have not been successful in my attempts, no matter how close I have gotten. But every time I get a new line, a new path, one ever closer to the solution to this wish, you all seem to be there.
You already know that that's a similar goal to mine. Perhaps we just happen to cross paths because we're on the same mission.
Maybe. Or maybe I'm here to consume that Jinn and gain enough power to stop all of this.
And then what's stopping you after?
For the first time, this creepy little boy in suspenders smiles. Absolutely nothing.
Turn to Captain. He goes, and kind of leans. He goes, Captain, we cannot let him have this genie. He already is so powerful. If he gains more power, yes, he may stop some of this, but we will be facing something much, much worse than any first. I was about to say Inquisition. It's not Inquisition. First Horizon. He cannot have this gem.
Kind of like very quietly say, I don't know what you want me to do. He's a Jinn. I can't stop him.
It's like, I know, I don't know
So
what.
why
I'm sorry, go ahead.
you want to get answers? You have a wish and can get answers. He wants a snack. You can get answers, he can get the snack and go along his way. And maybe he will remember that we helped him and let us exist.
Tal, you and I have a agreement.
Yeah.
That might be the first time you're hearing that, Alia.
Yeah, so I was like, what? What agreement? You made an agreement with the genie?
Yeah. He possessed my ship when we first met. I met him because he possessed my ship, and we were at a different system, and he said that he wanted to ride here. And I figured, well, he already possessed my ship, so why not? But I told him that he couldn't hurt me or my family, including my crew. So you've done a great job. Looking at him like, good job. Thanks for honoring your agreement. But when you just like, I don't know, sometimes you work with people you wouldn't expect when you're a free merchant, free trader.
Would Alia know how long they were in this, like, in their own little adventure before she came on the ship at all?
What, this started a year maybe or less before you, a few months before you joined the crew?
It would have been probably roughly 6 months or so.
I was thinking about a half of a year because the cyclicid started when y'all
counting for
started
portal
back in
jumps and
season 1.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
So that seems about right. A half a year, a half a cycle.
Yeah, half a cycle, and then we've been traveling together for about a cycle and a half almost now.
Captain, a little suggestion, perhaps, maybe an advice for the future.
Yeah.
Whenever all this is over, I feel like we should all just stop going to space. Because I don't know how this keeps happening, but we end up somehow, or you somehow, end up going into a lot of weird things in a very short amount of time.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I grew up on that ship, and this is just my life.
Okay. Well, I tried.
When you both turn, the kid is not there. He made his offer. He's gone.
I was about to.
He's gone. You can seek him out. He's gone.
Well, you know what? No, I already got what I wanted. And then he goes,
"Oh yeah, go ahead."
Oh, I was going. He goes, well, I guess the next option is to have a little conversation. And she flips open the satchel.
Oh, wait, whoa. Hold on. Now, so he's not here anymore. You and I can't handle Jin by ourselves after she answers your question, fulfilling your wish, and then no longer owes you anything.
He's still on his wish. So we can maybe I was going to ask, perhaps we can ask for something similar that is as difficult.
I thought you wanted answers. You get one. He said one, right?
You get a wish.
You get a wish. So you wish for your answer. She gives you your answer. Wish granted, she's done. You can't get the answer and then also ask for something else. That
no. I know.
But we can't handle her on her own. I don't consent to that.
No, you're right. I was not thinking.
You bring him back here. Sure.
Okay. I'll be right back.
Actually, maybe you both go try to trail behind him. When you get to the kind of walkway, everybody's kind of sleeping. It's quiet. It's finally kind of gone silent. And the four of you, happenstantially, Tamir, you come out of your prayer, Malik back to the main area, Alia and Tao. Even on the hot trails of this kid, you don't find him, but the four of you meet back up in the main sanctuary.
Hey, Alia, catch.
What?
Make a, I'm going to have you make a check to see if you catch it, or if it hits the ground and makes a very loud noise.
Oh, no. Okay.
Let's see. I guess this is an agility check. I would let you make a dexterity if you have it.
And I do not. So straight agility.
A straight agility check
Is what did I get?
A failure.
Okay, great.
Yeah, of course.
Yep. Malik goes, hey, and tosses this dusty book, and it slips right through your hands and goes on the floor of this empty chamber, and it echoes out. A few people sit up and look around and stare at all four of you. A baby begins crying. A few people, a grumpy old man's like, as
What are
he
those
like rolls
muscles
back
for?
over. But at your feet, Alia, is a book carved by hand and inlaid with gold foil on a hand-bound leather tome. This is the history of Jin. It is a book, paper.
Some creepy old man gave me that book.
Why would you throw things?
Why wouldn't she catch it?
Yeah, catch. And I chuck something that's nearby at him.
Make an agility check. The only thing nearby is maybe like a piece of rotten fruit on the altar steps or something.
God, I hope you crit.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's
You
not
catch
that
it.
hard.
You catch it, but
Like-
the fruit is kind of rotten and it's a little soft, and it.
That's what you do when someone throws something at you. And it just sort of leans down and drops it on the ground. You catch it.
I hate you, Malik. I hate you so much.
Super normal thing to do.
I
Anyway,
pick up the book and I just was like, I'm gonna go and which old man? Who?
I don't know, some creepy old man in like a closet. He was weird. But he gave me that book for free. I think it might be Order of the Pariah, but I don't know. He was down here. So you can have that book.
Does, does Alia at all recognize this book in any way?
You could make a culture check.
Oh God, please something go my way.
I figure
today.
the last ancient
Of
tome that I
course.
found, I gave to you. So
Maybe it's because I mean, you know what the book is clearly about. The title alone told you, so there's no question there. But in terms of having ever heard of this book,
Yeah.
no. It is a little crispy around the edges. You can see where it was like padded out, and some of the pages are kind of burnt. But yeah, no, having heard of it previously, absolutely not. This is not in your repertoire.
Okay. Yeah. I like gingerly pry it open and kind of, do I get anything stand out? Or
As you flip through, you realize it's handwritten. It's not typed. It's not printed. It's a handwritten book by an old man. Malik, you didn't get his name, did you? The creepy old dude?
no, he didn't ask.
Okay, great. It says collected manuscript by, and it's signed Howard. I think that's what you think it, you like make the handwriting out. His name is let's see, I need a good last name. He's Howard Gambino, Dr. Howard Gambino, historian.
why was I expecting a Jewish name for some reason? Oh, I know why. It's freaking.
What do you say? What do you saying, Gambino? That's not
No.
a strong Jewish Italian
I
name.
don't know.
Like
I don't know. You tell me.
If y'all are
No,
getting a
that's not a
vibe
good-
here, it seems that a lot of these rebels and free leagues are all a little bit Italian Jewish, between Tony,
Hey.
you know, and you know their
Come
their
here.
dear cousin.
Coriolis is just Chicago. Space Chicago.
Basically.
Space Chicago, yeah.
Chicago.
So, but you see, it's like written by him, and it seems to be, with like a quick flip through, a collection of information that has been written and put into like solid thoughts, where he'll write a piece of somebody else's information, and then he does like an essay afterwards of how he connects to other things in the book. It's a manuscript. Or like a massive essay, if you would, in a certain way. And it's all about the history of Jin in the Third Horizon that we know to date.
This is amazing. And you didn't get the name? Oh,
No,
was it the Howard?
I don't know. Just some old guy in a closet, man.
would I need to do more of an in-depth read on this to get a better understanding on Jin or any pertinent
You're gonna need
information?
to spend some time with it.
Okay.
You would definitely need to spend some time with it.
Oh yeah, and that creepy Jin kid's back.
Yeah, he came here.
Oh,
News to you, Tamir.
Standing
Would
under
you
a
have seen?
light.
Wait, would
with a
Tamir
window.
have, or not Tamir, Malik or Tamir have met him on the way out?
I did.
No, they did not see him. He's a Jin. He comes and goes as he pleases. He could possess the entirety of Coriolis if he wanted to.
What's? Oh, you know what? I'm not going to ask that question. Never mind. You know what? No, I'm going to ask it. What's stopping him? Why hasn't he already done it? Seems
Because
like
he
pretty
doesn't
easily-
believe that it's going to actually have any benefit. Because
Mhm.
so he basically can move throughout the ship the way he feels, possess it, reappear in certain ways, but always in the form of this boy. It seems to be his chosen form. Just like her chosen form was a very sexy lady.
Go sit down and read, perhaps. This seems important.
Yeah, I hope it helps.
You might want to
So-
take that back to Jalis's room.
Yeah, I'll go there. Do you need anything from me, Captain?
Not at the moment. I think what we need to do though is go get Sewell. That's the most pressing thing we have right now, right?
You see Jalissa very quietly cross the space. All of you kind of finally convened and standing, and in a slight whisper, she says, I've gathered a few people, not children, to help you all as you cross. I thought your idea of the air ducts was a good one, so I put one of our best technicians on it. And she gestures, and behind her, near where she exited, the hallway she exited out of, there is a girl standing there. She has a partially shaved head. You can tell that she's had some kind of surgery. You don't know what kind. It might have been a implant, or it could have been, shrapnel taken out of her head. You don't know. You can just tell they've like shaved her head for the needs of stuff. And she said, she looks right at Malik and she says, one of our best trained technicians. She was able to dive into the Coriolis mainframe and get blueprints of the air ducts of the internal workings of the cellar. Not an easy find.
Perfect. That's great.
And she passes off to Malik a data disk, because it's all digital. And she says, but I think it best for us to wait until there's more light. In a lot of the quarantined areas, they've cut power. There's no generators left anymore.
Okay.
I will warn you. Many of our more wounded claim that the shadows move. Coriolis is a crypt, a place full of dead bodies that are still being cleared out into space. And where there's this many bodies, sometimes the darkness takes hold. I believe moving with more light would be safer. The sun will come up on the other side of the planet in just a few hours.
Do we have anything, any extra light sources we could use?
Yes, we've got a few light sticks as well as flashlights and the usual. It's not completely dark down there, and as long as they still have some of the windows open on those upper decks, you'll catch the sun at first light.
Okay.
It may create some shadows, but at least it won't be dark.
Shadows can be a problem. How well armed is everybody coming with us?
Well armed. In fact, I thought maybe I'd show you all to the weapons locker.
Ooh, goody.
A dog somewhere off in the distance barks in excitement. Maybe a kid goes shh as it wakes up a grumpy old man. And she gestures in the direction of the weapons locker. Alia, I know you don't really do weapons, so I imagine you're going to spend some time with
this
Okay.
this book. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have you make another culture check as you read through it.
Okay. Come on, baby. Where's the page? Okay. Come on, please. Fingers crossed. Oh! Oh!
There it is. That's what we
Oh!
needed. I'm also gonna have you draw a card.
Why do you have to taint my moment like this?
Who knows? It could be a really good thing.
It's never.
Could be a good thing. Technician is a good. It could be good. It's
Okay.
good.
All right. We'll see. We'll see.
Could be good.
So draw one
A
card.
Lady of Tears card for me.
Is that the one I clicked to hold up? Yeah. Okay. So draw one. No more cards.
Oh, let me. That's not good. Hang on. Hang on. You're the
Yeah,
Lady of
let me-
Tears. Let's recall all of the Lady of Tears cards. Let me shuffle them. Okay, now give it a draw.
Okay. And click it.
It's in your hand. Drag it
it's
out.
Lost love.
It's never good.
That doesn't. Yeah.
Not never.
It's a mid tier. That's a mid. We'll see. We'll see how this goes.
All right. This will be our last. Okay. So your critical success as you
Yes.
spend a few hours while the rest of the team maybe decrypts these blueprints, chooses some weapons and armor for themselves. It's a random selection, but you can tell they've taken it off other soldiers, right? That it's a collection of things that they've taken from the homogeny, from the adjudicators on Coriolis. You begin reading this book. It's written and has been translated, so it's so much easier. Because you got a critical success at a 3, I'm going to give you 3 vital pieces of information that you pull from this book over a couple hours. 1,
Okay.
every encounter that has been written about or journaled about or in some way documented says that when a Jinn is released from its vessel, it offers the person that releases it a single wish. But in addition to this, Jinn are built around the concept of trickery. They are demons, which means that usually the tricks or the wishes tend to backfire, or they have a catch-22 to them in certain ways. You get what you want, but I want a vacation home, and they put it in the middle of Mars where you can't breathe the air. Or I want peace. Well, so they take everybody in a town and make them docile. They stop reproducing, they stop eating, right? So there's always like a trick that comes because the Jinn only wants to be released from the wish. Everything else is secondary. 2, there are multiple different kinds of Jinn. And this book, for the first time ever, seems to categorize them for you. It defines them. It talks about some of their strangeties and oddities, the ways they manifest, the people that they seek to possess. Along with this, it tells you that Jinn seek power because the more powerful they are, the less likely they are to be put into a vessel, right? To be captured. So they consume one another. They hunt each other. It's like a highlighter thing. There can only be one kind of a thing. If another Jinn knows another Jinn, it is what they crave the most. They seek it for consumption. And 3, deep in a footnote somewhere, you find some theorizing and a drawing, a flat version of what was in a three-dimensional holograph just a few hours ago. The same drawing that Lamara made. You find information that this drawing was captured off the side of a cave wall on one of the distant planets in Otakon, long before the Portal Wars, by a woman who is possessed by a Jinn. That every time this Jinn seems to manifest, she brings with her a prophecy of towers of light
used to destroy a universe. It seems that this same Jinn that hasn't been seen since before the Portal Wars rode Lamar's soul back, and with her brought the same prophecy, but this time carved into soft white walls. Alia, maybe this information takes you a while. Maybe you pace while you read, walking quiet, sleeping hallways of all of these people who may not have had a good night's rest in a very long time. And you hear, while you're deep reading about this prophecy, consuming everything that you can in this book with your critical success, and you hear a grunt, a pained grunt off to your right. And when you look up, you're not even sure where your feet have taken you. And as you look through the other side of like a blue holographic wall that they've put in, right? Like an energy wall, you see your sister, or one of them, chained to the wall. It looks like she's probably been beaten. I wouldn't say tortured, right? That's not what I mean, but she's definitely had, they are clearly trying to get maybe information out of her. She lays there, head tilted down. The last corruption bar of the night is played for lost love. And as the rest of the crew suits up, breaks down a plan, you stare at your sister hanging by chains on the other side of a holographic wall. And we will pick up there next week.
Spicy. Okay. All right. Well, this was an episode, right? That went places we didn't expect. So let's go around, do our introductions so that we can get the hell out of here, do our after show. And if you guys want access to the after show, it's available on Patreon. Link for that down below. I highly encourage you, go over there, click on that link, join us at the $5 tier for this after show. We're trying to hit 65 patrons this month, and we'll do a giveaway for Free League's The One Ring second edition at the end of the month. But for now, let's do these introductions so we can get the hell out of here. So we'll start with KP. Who are you? Where can we find you? And what are you up to?
My name is KP. I'm emotionally devastated, and you can find me on all your social medias as KP11 Studios. I love this show so freaking much. It gives me something that I crave, and I don't know what it is. It's fantastic, and I think everybody does such a fantastic job in it. But so, yeah. Wow. Outside of this amazing show, you can find me almost every Friday. Unfortunately, not unfortunately. Not tomorrow's Friday because we have our Friday show on Trooper SJP's channel, which is the City of Light and Shadows, and this time it is a duo episode between who is it? Who is between again? It's
me and Greg.
You and Greg right here. That's right.
It'll just be me and Greg, two of the hardest RPers out there, y'all. You will not want to miss this.
It's going to be fantastic. So they're going to do that. I'm going to take the day off because it's my anniversary. So we're going to go and have a fun time outward somewhere, my wife and I. Outside of that, you can find me back here on the same channel, hopefully next Tuesday soon. Back on our Tales from the Loop campaign. We're about to finish off our season very soon. I don't know how many more episodes we got left, but it's close and it is getting spicy.
That's the last one next week.
It is the last one.
Finale.
Oh, it's a finale. Oh shit. Okay, so
So roll spicy.
Real spicy. So come check us out there. And then on Wednesdays on Not One Fun Games, we hopefully will have a game next week, but a lot of fun, good life things have happened to our cast members that take a lot of time away from them. So it may or may not happen, but keep an eye out. If you want a D&D game that also is fused with an isekai style, we got sucked into our own D&D world, and now we don't know what the F is going on. We're going to pretend like we're just all high. Here you go. That's the show for you. And that's it. And well, yeah, I'll tell the next week stuff next week. So there you
Perfect. Eris, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hello, I'm Erisavad. I make things. I make all sorts of things like jewelry and RPG accessories. You can find the things that I make at erisavad.com. There are some surprises up in the website. Yeah. There's surprises. You have to go. You have to go look. You have to go check out that homepage. Also go check the merch section for some mushy friends. I have mushy friends in the merch section. They're so cute. Anyways, yeah. You can find me here. You can find me on Gnome's channel doing things. He'll tell you about that. Okay, bye.
Go to erisavad.com and use code HotDiceDaddies for a nice discount. Speaking of Gnome and Hot Dice Daddy, Gnome, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Best
Was
outro to
that your whole
history.
outro?
That's
that
my
the whole
outro. I'm
thing?
good. Sup? Nailed it.
10 out of 10. Go follow Pod Oops over on Twitter. It's coming out in the future. Check it out. It's going to be awesome. Dot, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Oh boy, I feel like I should vogue out after that. I'm Little Red Dot. You can find me anywhere dots are found. Over in places like Kobold Press and fucking here.
That's it. That's it. That's the perfect.
We literally just had a conversation on how we can better promote ourselves. We literally
Listen,
We're killing it.
we cultivate the core of the fan base. Guys, that's it for us. We're gonna get out of here. We're gonna do the after show for this show. Again, if you guys want access to that, Patreon link down below. Join us over at the $5 tier. But for now, that's all that we have for you this week. So tune in next week. So from all of us to you guys, bye-bye.